But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. I don't talk about that. Oh man, that kid was a cakewalk.
Good. You know, wrong. Canelo always has a problem with boxers. He always struggles when he fights a boxer. Anybody knows that he's a boxer, take a punch, you'll give him a hard time. Bud is not one of these guys that's so quick.
Bud Crawford soundly defeating Canelo Alvarez. We thought that maybe he could have won by even a further margin on the scorecards. He gets it done unanimously. Teddy, can you put into words what we just saw from Terence Crawford?
Well, the only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory.
Floyd Mayweather wasted no time mocking Canelo Alvarez after his defeat to Terence Crawford. He claimed that Canelo is no longer the fighter he once was and argued that his reputation has always been inflated. Mayweather revealed that he believed in Crawford from the beginning and backed it up with a massive bet, which paid off handsomely. An account on X even shared the receipt, noting, "Floyd Mayweather just cashed out big after betting $50,000 on Crawford to beat Canelo." Despite the loss, Canelo carried himself with dignity and confidence. He openly praised Crawford, acknowledging him as a great fighter who truly earned the win. However, he was quick to stress that he isn't finished yet. Canelo explained that he still feels physically strong and mentally sharp, making it clear that he's not ready to walk away. In fact, he even expressed interest in a potential rematch with Crawford, signaling that his fighting spirit is alive and unshaken. This response reflects Canelo's mentality as a competitor, unwilling to back down from challenges, especially when his pride, legacy, and reputation are on the line.
I can say to him, I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's going to be great. But you know what?
Ryan Garcia reacted to Terence Crawford's dominant win with high praise, calling the performance extraordinary. He tweeted, "I actually believe Crawford may be the best fighter of all time." Garcia has elite mindset. For Ryan, this victory elevates Crawford into legendary status, a level of greatness rarely seen in boxing history. Meanwhile, veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas offered his breakdown by comparing the fight to Canelo Alvarez's earlier loss against Floyd Mayweather. He argued that Canelo has consistently struggled with opponents who are faster and sharper, pointing to his footwork and hand speed as lingering weaknesses. According to Atlas, those flaws resurfaced once again, as Crawford, despite being inactive for a year, entered the ring sharp, hungry, and fully prepared. His time reinforces the idea that Canelo has limitations when facing elite technical boxers. Crawford's victory, Atlas concluded, doesn't just mark another win, it adds a defining chapter to his ever-growing legacy.
From the beginning, that if you go back, and I know it was a lot of years ago, I get it, but you have to have something to point at. If you go back to when he lost his first fight, of course, Canelo I'm talking about, to Mayweather, it wasn't just that his hands were too slow, his feet were too slow. And he's in there with a guy with quick feet and quicker hands. You know what? It doesn't matter how big he is. What did Ali say? Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see. That was tonight. It was great.
Let's put some context on this.
It was great.
Let's put some context on this victory first. A year out of the ring. I think it was like 13 some odd months out of the ring. Okay?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. 2 weight classes. Think about that.
Yep.
He had surgery early at the beginning of the year. Surgery on shoulder surgery, right? Not sure which one. And to come in here and to put on that type of performance against Canelo that actually is coming off a performance, right? You expected Canelo to be sharp. He was sharp. However, what Crawford did was he took the air out of the ball. Yeah. He used this. That's what boxing's about, people. It's about this. Strategy. That's what he had. He used his feet. He understood Canelo every single movement. That's why Canelo couldn't land any shots on him. He knew it was coming. He knew that the looping right hand was going to come from the southpaw position. So what did he do? Hold the phone. He knew that the hook to the body was going to come. What did he do? Block, and he shot him with counter.
One of his great assets that we don't hear about enough. One of those things that are not so easily as measurable on paper, but it's eyes, vision, focus. We know the physical ones we talk about and we understand so easily. Speed, power, quickness, legs, all that stuff. But eyes, the radar, This guy's got infrared.
Sports journalist Ariel Helwani was quick to confirm the official result on social media, echoing what most viewers already sensed. He tweeted that Terence Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez by unanimous decision, with scores of 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113. The verdict made clear that the judges consistently viewed Crawford as the sharper fighter across the rounds. While the scorecards appeared close, they reflected Crawford's steady control and calculated dominance throughout the bout. Helwani's post spread quickly, underscoring the historic nature of Crawford toppling one of boxing's most iconic champions. The official numbers reinforced the idea that this wasn't just a win, but a disciplined, strategic performance that elevated Crawford into the sport's elite tier. Teofimo Lopez, celebrated for his own fearless approach in the ring, added his admiration. He emphasized that the matchup brought together two of the best in the world, and in his eyes, the right man's hand was raised. Lopez went further, declaring that Crawford now deserves recognition among the top 10 all-time greats. To him, Crawford's poise, precision, and execution didn't just define the fight, they cemented his place in boxing history. Praise from an active champion like Lopez only amplifies the significance of Crawford's victory within the boxing community.
In terms of his prime, how can you gauge it?
Doesn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight. Did we not? That's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight. That was Crawford.
Terence got it right. Is there no need for a rematch, or do you want to see running back? Because it was pretty good, like you said.
No, it was it was really good actually.
Yeah.
So it's up to the champ. He's the champ. He can do whatever he wants.
What do you think happens with Canelo next after this?
What happens to Canelo after this? It don't matter. He's made a big statement for not only Mexico or the pride of Mexico, but for all Latinos right there. So he's done a great job for himself, man. Nevertheless, Crawford is on his way, continuing to create greatness.
Mentally.
What's up? I know boxing. I just know stylistically. I've been in the gym with. I've shared the ring with Canelo, and then I see that. So
They were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15,
Yeah.
easily. You know, there's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks.
Yeah.
You know.
Can beat first ballot Hall of Famer and superstar and legend Canelo Alvarez. I've been saying this for years that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And tonight, he did just that. He did just that. Not only did he beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, but he arguably retired Canelo Alvarez, who after the fight, Canelo Alvarez stated that he's done everything that he needed to do in the sport of boxing. When asked do he want a rematch with Terence Floyd Crawford, Canelo Alvarez said, "It's no need." He gave no indications of a rematch. And Canelo Alvarez stated that he's a Hall of Famer, he's a winner, just being there made him a winner, right? And he stated that he's done everything he needed to do in the sport of boxing. That's what he said. Canelo Alvarez got schooled once again. I told you guys, styles make fights. This particular style of boxers and counterpunchers and movers has historically given Canelo Alvarez problems. And as I told you guys, right? Terence Crawford can fight any which way he chooses to fight. He's just that much more versatile. And everybody didn't believe it. They said I was tripping. Canelo was too big. He gonna knock out Terence Crawford, right? He too big, too strong. Terence Crawford get hit. Terence Crawford don't box, don't move. And I told you guys, when Terence Crawford wants to move and wants to box, right, he can. And he would, right? And guess what? Terence Crawford, I told you guys, when he fought the likes of Victor Postol, right? Y'all said that, oh, he don't move that much. I said, did you look at his fight with Victor Postol? Did you look at his fight with Jose Benavidez? Yeah, well, those guys ain't Canelo Alvarez. And I told you guys, it doesn't matter if they're Canelo Alvarez. It's about Terence Crawford's ability to be able to maneuver around and box in every which manner he so chooses. If he wants to incorporate that style that he boxes and moves, he could. And what did he do tonight? I said Terence Crawford can fight at every level. Didn't I tell you guys that? I said Terence Crawford can fight in mid-range. He can fight on the outside. He can fight on the inside. Canelo Alvarez cannot. Y'all asked me, why aren't you talking about what Canelo Alvarez can do great? And I told you, because we know what Canelo Alvarez is going to do. He's going to fight. He's consistent in who he is and how he fights. Period. I told you guys that.